Well, welcome here, rather belatedly, to York Street this afternoon for Guiseley's visit to Boston United after a tremendous week that we've had in the club. Obviously, the departure of Steve Kittrick. We're afraid we've been rather scuppered by the traffic and are somewhat late. The game is underway. There hasn't been any goals, and we'll go through the scoreline shortly. Just at the moment, though, Craig Hobson's on the attack for Guiseley on the left flank, just going down to the touchline under great pressure, and just earns the Lions a corner. I'm joined this afternoon. I'm Colin Robertson. I'm joined with me today by Matt Rogerson.
Yes, hi Colin. It's not been an easy journey by any stretch, but an open, entertaining game so far, I think.
Yeah, so still scoreless. Just quickly go down the goals, the starting lineup as Mark Bauer gets the ball back to Steve Drench. Guiseley are facing Boston, who are lining up with Ashley Timms. Two players have just gone down under a challenge, and the referee is being surrounded by Boston players. Are furious at the way that Hobson has collided. I don't know if he led with his elbow. I didn't quite see the full incident there.
I think he certainly caught him. Who knows whether that was on on purpose, but the Boston players are incensed. The referee's certainly got a decision to make here.
Yeah, he definitely has. The Guiseley fans not happy to our right. The Boston fans really getting, and the players surrounding the official today, who is Nigel Hare, and it was a collision that is leading to the Boston fans shouting off against Craig Hobson. Let's just quickly go down this team sheet. Ashley Timms in goal for Boston, Peter Bourne, Nathan Sansara, Connor Marshall, Scott Garner, Carl Piagiani, Ian Ross, Ben Milnes, Ricky Millen, Mark Newsham and Spencer Weir-Daly. Hobson being spoken to. I think he's going to get a yellow card by the looks of it here for his challenge. So Guiseley line up with Stephen Drench, Jack Rea, Rhys Maynell, Michael Potts, Danny Ellis, Mark Bauer, who's chosen to start himself in the lineup this afternoon, Wayne Brooksby, Andy Holdsworth, Craig Hobson, Adam Priestley and Gavin Rothery. And it is a yellow card for Connor Hobson, Craig Hobson even. I'm making up names now here, that much of a morning. So we're going to wait and get back underway, I'm sure, in a minute. But just at the moment, Guiseley have the first yellow card of the afternoon against Craig Hobson. It certainly raised the pace a little bit, raised the temperature here.
Yeah, certainly. I think Hobson's put himself about a little bit early doors already, and maybe a little bit exuberant. He needs to calm himself down because we all know what happened at Colwyn Bay when he went off. We struggled to cope without him with 10 men. So that is part of his game, but he needs to sort of rein it in a little bit at times, I think.
The referee's just coming to the goal here, behind the goal. I think he's having a little look at something in the netting. He's got another ball, and he's decided to choose that one, but it wasn't exactly greeted warmly by the home fans here.
No, as you'd expect after a contentious decision early doors.
Yeah, certainly expected to pull out a card there, I think, by the home fans. We are here live on Guiseley AFC Radio. I'm sorry we were a little bit late. Dreadful journey down this morning. I started from Newcastle at 10 o'clock this morning. I'm meant to be doing the Great North Run tomorrow. I've woken up with a swollen leg. So I've been belaying my conditions to Matt in the car on the way down.
I should point out that readers can turn off now if they don't want to hear any more about your giant leg, as I've been regaled with all the way down the A1. But no, it's much appreciated, Colin.
Well, let's just get back into events. We've had a little bit of a delay because Scott Garner, the centre half who was involved in that collision with Craig Hobson, has indeed gone off. He's been replaced by Stefan Galinski, and Boston get us underway. Danny Ellis having to get a boot on the ball, only as far as Marshall. He helps it forward, but it's cut out well by Jack Rea, and then cleared eventually by Maynell. Takes a bit of a late knock, but there's already a real bite about this game, and Boston come forward once again before Rothery gets across to cut out Sansara's movement.
Yeah, I think it's something you often get after a contentious decision like that. Players will sort of try and force the referee into a decision, maybe go down a little bit easily just to maybe try and even things up a little bit, see what they can get away with.
Boston start again now on this left-hand side as they attack the Guiseley goal. We're behind the goal that Guiseley are attacking here at the York Street Stadium. I don't know if you know it, but there's a big seated stand that goes across the side of the field, terracing along the other side away, opposite side, and then terracing behind the goal that Guiseley are currently defending. Now Boston start the ball again into the area. Ricky Miller twisting and turning in the penalty area, tries to get a shot away, can't. Eventually Rhys Maynell steps across, gets a good firm boot on it and launches it out into touch on the opposite side of the park. Boston have had early momentum now. They've got the ball on the left hand side here, and the throw taken short to Ian Ross. Ross lays it back to Sansara. He gets the ball into the area, cut out by Bauer, having to lead by example on the field now. And then once again another attack builds up. Milnes, he's robustly challenged before Guiseley get the ball into touch.
A few tasty challenges going in, Colin. The referee, he's going to have his work out, you think, this afternoon.
And you can probably hear a good crowd from Guiseley here, who are in the stand just next to where we are. Segregated, of course. Now Guiseley managed to clear the ball away with Rhys Maynell, but Boston just at the moment beginning to encamp themselves in Guiseley's half. Peter Ball, the right back, takes a throw, plays it into the feet of Ricky Miller. Miller lays it back to Ball, and then it's back all the way back to Piergiani. He's got the ball just inside the Guiseley half, lays a left-footed pass forward, which is headed away by Danny Ellis, and then Brooksby tries to carve out a counter-attacking opportunity and is pulled down by Sansara just inside the Boston half, and it's going to be a Guiseley free kick.
Yeah, definite foul there, I think, on Brooksby. He did well to sort of come out of that well, and he was brought down just inside the Guiseley area, the Boston area, sorry.
Andy Holdsworth, he's got the opportunity to take this free kick just on the halfway line on the right-hand side of the field. Guiseley haven't got many players forward. In fact, they're looking to play it short, and then it goes down the channels. Hobson looks for it, under pressure, nearly wins the ball from Piergiani, but it bounced away from him, and eventually Boston clear and out into the Guiseley half. Jack Greer will take the throw. We'll just talk about the formation in a moment, but Guiseley have an attack at the moment, and it's relying on Sansara to do some last-ditch defending. Gets a clip off Wayne Brooksby. It's a Boston throw. But just talk about this Guiseley formation today. What do you think we're looking at here? Looks like a 4-4-2 to me.
I sort of took it, I don't know, I think it's a little bit fluid, but I took it as to be, Holdsworth and Potts in that centre midfield, and then a 3 in front of that with Hobson at the front, so more of a 4-2-3-1, but it's not a rigid formation, is it? The players all switch around, and depending on what the score is and what the momentum's like, I guess.
Guys, he just tried to get the ball down the right flank, just ahead of Hobson, and anyway it's gone out into touch. The ball curling in and out of play.
I think whatever formation it is so far, what's noticeable is that the Boston have a lot of that possession in midfield, and we've struggled to get it back really, other than when it's gone, when Boston relinquish possession. So the substitute for Boston, Galinski, he's getting a touch on the ball just at the moment. Ball inside his own half. Sends it down the right flank, but too far for any of the guys Boston players to get on the end too, and so it's a throw-in. Rhys Maynell will take. Maynell, deep inside his own half, launches it up towards the halfway line, but it's cut out now. Now Guiseley have to defend once again. Danny Ellis, rather clumsy tackle. Pulls down the Boston forward Miller, and it's right central in the middle of the Guiseley half, and Boston have a free kick in a dangerous area. Yeah, I don't think I can have too many complaints about that. He went in early, didn't quite get it, went back for seconds, and still didn't get it.
So it's an opportunity now for Boston to attack that goal with their fans urging the movement forward, and it's Ian Ross who will take. The captain stands over. He's got 3-4 yellow and black shirts in and around the edge of the 18-yard box. In the end, drives it forward, bounces off the wall, and then still comes back towards Guiseley before eventually Hobson hoofs it back the other way into the Boston half. But there's no Guiseley player in there to get on the end of it. And so once again, Ross moves it forward down the left flank, and no one there on the end of it, and out into touch for a throw-in, which will be taken by Jack Rea. By my reckoning, we must be about a quarter of an hour mark. This game, no goals here on Guiseley AFC radio. Guiseley have not really threatened the goal yet. Neither have Boston, in truth. But they might now. The goalkeeper's lodged a long one forward. It's picked out. Newsham, speculative, went right over the back four. Newsham picked it up, but a great save there from Steve Drench to deny, and then good work from Jack Rea to keep the ball in touch. And Guiseley start a bit of passing, flowing football of their own. Help it out to the left-hand side here, where Maynell's got the ball. He's got options ahead of him, but chooses to go short to Priestley. Priestley now runs down this left channel, and he's cut out. Cut out well there by Peter Ball. Guiseley now have to defend, and Bauer just has a little bit of a slip. Steve Drench comes out, saves his blushes. The manager holds his hand up.
End-to-end stuff, last 5 minutes or so. I think what will worry, the guys, the boys, more than anything, will be how easy that first chance was for Boston. Literally just a goal kick, just found its way through.
Yeah, he really will probably feel he should have done better, Mark Newsham, but Boston still have chance to keep the pressure on. Into the area with Ross, trying to carve out another opening, but it's cleared. And only as far as a throw-in for Boston, just inside the Guiseley half, and they move the throw quickly. Ross helps it towards the edge of the 18-yard box, headed away by Potts, taken down now by Boston once again, picked up here by Marshall. Marshall takes a drive from distance. It never had the direction though, it was high and wide, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Did well to create the opportunity there though. He sold Michael Potts well, and you can see why he went for it. Never troubling Stephen Drench there. So applause around the ground here because of Scott Garner heading back to the changing room. Obviously took a nasty collision with Hobson. Flicked on here by Bohr, but Bohr gets the second ball at the second attempt, but gives it straight away to Potts. Potts helps it on towards Priestley, headed away by Gilinski. And then eventually Boston get it onto the halfway line here with Milnes. Milnes to Spencer Weir-Daly, out here to Sansara. Sansara on the left flank gets the ball in towards the penalty area. As he curls it behind, it goes behind for a goal kick. As the substituted player has gone off. It's attracting some attention, I think, from fans. Although I don't know if that's coming through loud and clear on air. But Guiseley start once again with a goal kick and find themselves still on level terms. No goals as yet. Ball flicked on now by Rothery in towards Hobson, but he can't get on the end of it. Up to the halfway line. Helped on by Bauer. Bauer hoofs it forward, and that's going to be easy for Ashley Timms just to take down, control, and launch forward. Danny Ellis gets ahead on it, helps it down to Potts. Guiseley on the back foot a little bit under pressure, but do well to control. And then good play from Potts to find Rea before a loose ball from Rea requires Danny Ellis to put in a firm tackle. But now once again, Guiseley come forward. Potts taken down heavily. Goes the ball out wide here to Priestley. And that was a very late challenge, I think, in on Potts. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a second card here. Good refereeing, I think, though. Played the advantage, see if there was any to be had, and brought it back. But you just notice when we do get on the ball in that midfield area, we're looking very positive. When we can get it to Potts, get it out wide to Priestley and Brooksby, get Rothery on the ball, we look dangerous.
So free kick to Guiseley now with Andy Holdsworth. Players on the edge of the area. It's gone forward, but that's going to be easily cleared there by Piergiani. And then eventually it's out here on the right-hand side with Newsham, still inside his own half, under pressure there. Potts almost robs him, but Newsham keeps going into the Guiseley half now, square. Tries to find Weir-Daly, but it goes past him and to Marshall. And then Weir-Daly loses the ball, and it's taken away from him by Priestley, and Guiseley come forward once again, but a bit of a loose ball from Priestley. Gives Brooksby too much to do. And now it's a chance here for Newsham to get the ball back into the area. A long one forward. Jack Rea just has to shadow that one out and behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, sloppy from Priestley there. Just gave the ball away in a, what could have been a dangerous position for us if we'd have kept it and bombed forward like he looked like he was going to do.
Guiseley start with a goal kick again, and it's going to be another chance now for a bit of Guiseley possession, which wouldn't go amiss after Boston have had the best chance here. It's 0-0 currently. Kick taken, long one forward, cleared this time well by Piergiani, and then it's gone out into touch. Guiseley have a throw, and it's with Rhys Maynell. Takes the throw short here to Potts looks for options, well shadowed by Ian Ross, has to go backwards to Danny Ellis. Ellis then sends it down the left channel, overhit, and it's gone behind for a throw-in, and out for a throw. Just a bit of a lull in the game after it started with a really pacey open match, hasn't it?
Yeah, there was a good intensity of the 10 minutes, sort of slowed down a little bit now. But it's been an entertaining game so far, I think.
No goals as yet. 20 minutes gone in this game. And Guiseley and Boston locked 0-0. And now it's the home side, the Pilgrims, who come forward, but they're cut out well here by Brooksby. Brooksby gets the ball square to Rothery. Laid back to Holdsworth. Forward here towards Hobson. Can't get past Piergiani. And Guiseley now have to defend because it's Boston who come forward, this time with Galinski. Tries to get through Andy Holdsworth, but a great tackle there. And now Priestley out on the left-hand side, still inside his own half. Gets it just over the halfway line. Hobson's just outnumbered when he's on the ball. And Boston win possession back and win back a throw and take it quickly and move forward down the right-hand side until it's cut out by Bauer. Flicked on towards Hobson. Hobson heads it nicely onto Priestley. Just on the halfway line though, Guiseley. Not able to make any forward motion into the Boston half. Poor ball from Maynell. Gives possession back, and now it's a chance here for Weir Daly to make some running. But he doesn't place his pass well, and it's back with Steve Drench. Drench sprays the ball out to the right-hand side, looking for Rothery, and then Brooksby. Rothery and Brooksby combine well. Now Rothery, he's about 25 yards from goal, has a little bit of a run at the defender, goes past him, has a shot for his left foot, saved well by the keeper with his feet, but Rothery just beat his centre half a pace, got the shot in with his left, but didn't have the power really to challenge a keeper, and that's Guiseley's first real shot on goal.
Yes, definitely first attempt on goal for Guiseley, and a good one. Good play from Rothery. Just sort of feigned to shoot, shimmied, and got his shot on the way. Thought he might have just played in Priestley earlier, but elected to shoot himself.
It's nice to see the creativity of Gavin Rothery and Wayne Brooksby combining there in that build-up to that play.
That's what I mean. When they link, and they link well, it can be a real danger for guys. It's when we sort of tend to go long ball and launch it at Craig Hobson that it seems to break down a little bit. Guiseley now starting again. I have to stretch. You have to excuse me if you hear strange clunkings. Guiseley now are under pressure because Boston have the ball with Galinski just on the halfway line. He's gone all the way back to Timms. All the yellow and black shirts are in the Guiseley half though at the moment, and it's a long one from Timms. Goes out towards Newsham, but it's headed away well by Jack Rea. Throw in once again to Boston. Midway through the Guiseley half. 0-0 here at York Street, where Guiseley and Boston are playing out this Skrill Conference North match. The Lions had a good chance there with Gavin Rothery, had a good shot saved by the goalkeeper. Likewise, Boston have had their chances. Mark Newsham was put through and should have done better, I'm sure, but great save nonetheless from Stephen Drench. He's got the ball at his feet just at the moment. There's a goal kick to Guiseley. Pace and the intensity ebbed away a few moments ago and then came back with real force when Guiseley went forward. But Drench now has launched this one out to the left-hand side. Now Brooksby, he's robbed Peter Ball. Left back recovers well though, takes the ball off Brooksby, and then Boston can clear their lines and help the ball out here towards the right-hand side where Newsham has turned Maynell. Goes down towards the goal line. He's got two players in the middle. Gets the ball across there, headed away by Danny Ellis. Good flick on, important flick on from the centre half to help the ball out for a throw-in on the other side. Too easy for Mark Newsham to get in there behind Rhys Maynell. It was just a shrug, just shrugged off the ball, and he's in there. But a good play from Danny Ellis.
Now Boston come forward still, try to get the ball into the area. Spencer Weir-Daly doesn't get the cross he wants, and Danny Ellis can clear. Now Guiseley might be able to craft out a counter-attack with Rothery, but he's very quickly closed down. Gets the ball back to Brooksby. Brooksby helps it on. Hobson goes on the chase. And then Timms, a little uncertain, helps the ball back into the area, picks it up, and then Hobson, I think he gave him more of an affectionate cuddle, but Timms didn't respond particularly kindly to it. And,
no, certainly wasn't receptive to the hug.
Didn't he?
Certainly wasn't receptive to the hug.
But yeah, it was a strange incident. Thankfully, the referee just let it pass. The ball goes forward anyway. Boston now once again have the ball here with Ben Mills. Mills gets it in towards the area, cut out, and it's gone behind for a corner. Boston's corner here. I think they're first of the game. I think the first corner of the game?
First corner of the game, yep.
Boston have it. It's on the right-hand side as they attack the Guiseley goal. And there's plenty of yellow and black shirts in that area. Guiseley have to be on their mettle now, have to defend hard. Bauer having to organise his new charges. And the ball floats in, up towards the penalty spot. Steve Drench gets a fist on it, not only away towards the edge of the penalty area, comes back in, helped on here, in towards Miller. He gets a shot with the left foot, and it's easily cleared. And quickly, Drench tries to release Priestley. Priestley goes through, but there's an offside flag. Oh, surely not. Priestley must have started his run in his own half, but the offside flag was all the way back on the halfway line.
Got to think so. Not often you get that, is it? For an offside from a goal kick.
And it has to be said, it was turning out to be rather a dangerous moment, wasn't it,
yeah,
for Guiseley as well?
It looked so. He might have just lost control of it, but a great idea nonetheless.
That's very disappointing. Priestley just set off, charging his run forward. Reminded me sort of Arsenal in the late 80s, that, with the offside at the halfway line.
I'd say your word for that, Colin.
Yes, that's a depressing thought. Guiseley now have to defend because Piagiani has got the ball on the halfway line, and all of the yellow and black shirts are once again in this Guiseley half. Guiseley's defending deep at the moment. Headed away on the edge of his area by Ellis. Guiseley have the ball with Holdsworth inside our own half, but it's a poor ball there from Potts. He's just given it away to Marshall. Marshall returns the favour, launches it forward rather aimlessly. Still, good work from Newton, puts the pressure on. Jack Rea loses out, and it's going to hang for a Boston throw. Here's Marshall now for Boston. In the halfway line is Galinski. Galinski still about 10 yards inside the Guiseley half. Can't find the killer ball, and the Lions will start a counter-attack. It doesn't go where Potts wanted it to go, but Guiseley do win the throw. So we've had, I'm reckoning, 26 minutes gone here. We've got Guiseley and Boston United locked at 0-0. The new side, Matt Bauer's new side. What do you make of it so far then, Matt? Much difference to what we've seen in the past?
Yeah, I think not necessarily all of the past, but I think the last few games it's been very long ball.
Priestley's just got the ball down the left-hand side now. He's gone into the penalty area, turns to Galinski, gets a shot away at goal. Turned behind by Ashley Timms with his feet. A second good save, and it's Guiseley's first corner.
Great play from Priestley on the left-hand side there, cut in. Another good save from Timms.
Corner to Guiseley here on the left-hand side as they attack this Boston goal. He comes across, it's Wayne Brooksby who comes across. He's going to try and curl this one in. Guiseley have Ellis, Bauer, Hobson in the penalty area, and Priestley too. Whip towards the back post where Ellis is waiting. He can't get his head onto it. It'll be another corner. But no, in the end, Guiseley have either considered a free kick or he's given a goal kick. And two players are down with their head injuries, one of which is Danny Ellis, and the other, as happily he's getting up, is the other centre-half, Carl Piagiani. Ellis is on his feet as well. The referee must have given a free kick there because surely it came off Piagiani's head last.
Looked that way, and the linesman gave a corner, so I'm not quite sure what he's seen for a free kick, to be honest, but
certainly nothing obvious in it. Nonetheless, it is what it is. And it's a goal kick come free kick to Boston after all of that. But good movement in that build-up play there with Adam Priestley getting into the penalty area, getting a shot away. Guys, you now have the ball inside their own half. Under a bit of pressure, Jack Rea at right back once again. Tries to help the ball out towards Brooksby. Just unable to keep that one in play this time. Throw in to Boston. On the left-hand side as they attack Guiseley's goal. And it's gone back to the halfway line, where Piergiani has it. He lays it square. In here to Ian Ross. Ross tries to help it out here to Newsham, but then it's helped away by Priestley. Gilinski gets ahead on the ball, knocks it down. And it's square here to Piergiani. Piergiani has the ball at his feet, and he helps it forward. And now Guiseley have to defend because it's good work here from Milnes. Milnes onto the edge where Weir Daly is. Gets the ball across. Milnes tries to get the return ball. Good tackle there from Maynell. And then the ball's gone all the way behind for a goal kick. But again, good movement from Boston.
Yeah.
Which goes to show that Guiseley really have to watch that movement.
Certainly, I think both sides look dangerous when they get the ball down and pass it like both sides can do, I guess.
That's a goal kick. Steve Drench will take. We were just talking just before that last movement about the side and the way it's lining up. You see any major differences as yet?
I think over the last few games, I think we've noticed a little bit more tendency to go long balls towards sort of Craig Hobson, and I've not seen that too much today so far. Obviously, it's, we're only half an hour in, but it looks like he wants to get the ball down and pass it.
Guiseley now have the ball on the left-hand side. Priestley doing really well, actually. Tries to go through Piergiani's legs, but he's a canny defender. He knows what he's doing there at centre-half and takes the ball away from Priestley, but it's back towards Priestley this time from Bauer. This time Piergiani again on top. Guiseley now pick up the second phase here with Brooksby. He can't get past Connor Marshall. Good defending here from Boston, and now Guiseley have to turn that into their own benefit because they've got to defend here. As Weir Daly gets the ball into the area. Good ball from the flank. It's up here. Drench is bundled off it as he goes to try and claim. No real danger in the end. The referee very quick to give the free kick. Guiseley will take a free kick inside their own penalty area.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's a bit of a cliche, but I think you always get them given in goalkeepers' favours, don't you? I think Drenchy knew as soon as he was going up for that he was probably going to get a free kick.
Guiseley and Boston United doing battle once again. It's been some tremendous games here over the years between these two sides. None less so than the playoff semi-final a couple of years ago. But today, it's goalless. And it's a long ball forward by Marshall, and he can't find his man. Bauer is bundled off the ball. Furious with the linesman, felt he deserved a free kick. It's a very quick throws taken. It finds Milnes inside the area. Milnes checks his run, goes back, gets the ball into the area through Newsham, and then it's headed away by Guiseley up to the halfway line. Now Hobson has it. He's got two players ahead of him, but Guiseley could for some sort of a counter-attack. Hobson booed by the crowd following his earlier incident. And then he's bundled over on the halfway line by Peter Ball, much to the pleasure of the home fans, but Guiseley get on with it. They play the ball out here to Rothery, into Bauer. Bauer forward now to Priestley. Priestley lays it down, back to Rothery. In here to Potts. And then Maynell, square now to Holdsworth. Holdsworth can see there's an overlapping runner, but goes short instead to Brooksby. Brooksby takes the return run, cuts inside, beats one man, gets the ball across towards the edge of the 18-yard box, but it's easy for Gilinski to clear. And then Danny Ellis recovers possession for Guiseley inside the Lions' half. Out wide here now to Rothery. Rothery takes it down. He's got a man on him, plays it out wide to Maynell. Maynell's cross into the 6-yard box. Too close to the goalkeeper, and Ashley Timms collects.
Good move from Guiseley though. Good play. Good to get Reece Maynell getting forward. He can, we know he's got a good delivery. Good to get him on the ball and good play in the middle as well.
Now Milnes, he's just played through to Weir Daly. Weir Daly goes past Drench but can't keep his feet. And in the end, the ball goes behind for a goal kick. But from really nothing, Milnes picks out a pass, sends Weir Daly through. Drench quickly out, just enough just to disrupt the attacker's flow, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
I think he was a little bit fortunate there, Stephen Drench. He seemed to get a touch on it and then lose it again, but the strike's momentum carried it out. But I tell you what, I'll be astounded if this is a 0-0. There's so many opportunities. It's who's gonna take the lead. I think that'll change it.
So heading towards the last quarter of this half, and Guiseley are still holding their own here against Boston. And Boston themselves perhaps point to one or two chances they've had, and Guiseley too can point to one or two chances. It's been fairly even stuff, but Boston come on forward this time with Mills. Mills tries to set Spencer Weir-Daly through, blocked out this time. Potts helps it onto the halfway line where Gavin Rothery picks up the ball and starts to run at this Boston defence. Short here to Hobson, cut out. Piergiani's had the better of that duel so far this afternoon, and Piergiani once again gets the ball forward, but given away by Ian Ross, the captain. And now Guiseley have to defend because the ball's here with Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby out to the right hand side where Jack Rear's making good overlapping run, gets the ball into the penalty area. It's going to be too high, easy for Ashley Timms to collect, but good running from Jack Rear.
Yeah, we saw that last in the second half at Brackley, how he likes to get forward if he's given the chance, and decent cross, probably a little bit too deep, but we're good to see him getting on nonetheless.
On the halfway line now is a throw into Boston on the right hand side.
Just if it's, say it was a 0-0 after the hour mark, it'd be interesting to see who he would bring on potentially. Whether would he look to bring Jamil on and put himself on the bench, or bring Marsh on? He's got a few options on there, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting who makes the call, isn't it, when there's a player-manager scenario. Ball back here to Gilinski. He lays it into Piergiani. Gilinski inside their own half at the moment, but Guiseley sitting deep, and Newsham picks it up, comes forward. It's cut out well, and then again launched forward. Pretty aimless this time because there's no Guiseley player anywhere near the ball, so it goes all the way back to Timms. And we're back with the status quo. Guiseley set in their own half. Gilinski has it, looking to find the killer pass. Plays it long and basically overhits it, and it's back with Stephen Drench. Guiseley 0, Boston United 0 here on Guiseley AFC Radio. Hope you're enjoying what we're hearing so far. Remember, you can tweet us at Guiseley Radio if you've got any comments. In the meantime, Guiseley come forward now with Brooksby. Brooksby plays it forward, tries to get it to the edge of the area. It's cut out this time by Maynell. Now forward, Rothery takes the ball on the edge of the centre circle. Back here to Potts. Guiseley with bodies in the Boston half for a moment here. Maynell helps it forward up towards Priestley. Little dink pass that Priestley doesn't control particularly well. Marshall steps across and wins the ball off him, and now it's with Newsham inside his own half. And it's a chance now for Boston to come forward, but cut out well here by Maynell. Only as far as Bohr. And it's away this time into touch. Guiseley throw. Guiseley have the throw. Take it short. Maynell forward. And cut out well by Piergiani. Cut out here really well now by Adam Priestley, and Guiseley can come forward this time. He's found Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby has a bit of a run, tries to play a reverse ball into Hobson. Hobson's beaten to it by Gilinski. Good football there from Guiseley for a moment, looking like they could craft out an opportunity. Now Sansara launches it down the left-hand flank, picks up Spencer Weir-Daly, who's beaten Jack Rear, goes down towards the touchline, but, well, that's a poor touch there from Weir-Daly, and it's gone out of play rather, for a throw into Guiseley.
There's a great chance for Brooksby just a couple of minutes ago, but it's the final ball. It's not quite right. I'm not sure if it's, I'm not sure what it is. Maybe a lack of communication or something. But we get into those positions, Brooksby, a few times in the last 10 minutes or so. But it is promising. I think if it's not out of the question that we could nick a goal before half time.
Yeah, Matt Bower will be pleased with his charges, won't he, so far? And his own performance, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. I think last 10 minutes or so we've certainly pressed in the midfield a lot higher up the pitch. Holdsworth and Potts particularly, not giving the Boston midfield any time on the ball, and it last 5-10 minutes has really paid dividends.
Sansara now takes a throw, short to Weir-Daly, beaten to it this time by Brooksby. Throw into Boston, just a few yards up from the corner flag on the right hand side. Thrown in here and goes all the way back to Ross. Ross helps it. Crossfield ball to Peter Bohr. The right back plays it forward down the right hand side where Newsham battling away here to win possession, sends it into the area. Bauer just shadows that one away from Ricky Miller and out into touch. And guys, you have another goal kick. Still 0-0 here on Guiseley AFC Radio at York Street. We've got plenty of chances on both sides so far in this first half. 1 or 2 real key chances. Rothery with a good left-footed drive for Guiseley and Priestley, both forcing Ashley Timms into saves. And Drench has had to be alive to a couple of moments really at the other end. Newsham notably denied by Drench, and the best chance I think that Boston have had. They're coming forward again, this time ball down the right-hand side. Gets the ball into the area, finds on the edge of the area Weir Daly. He takes a firm drive from the edge of the 18-yard box, but watched well by Stephen Drench. He goes down well and claims the ball. And Guiseley almost immediately try the counter-attack, but it's cut out again, this time by Ball. Now it's played forward, out for another throw. Newsham comes straight across to look for ways of keeping this momentum going. Boston just coming close there once again. Gilinski helping the ball down the right-hand channel, looking for Miller. Miller gets in the area, gets past Bauer. Then his own control lets him down and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
It's been a little bit of a case of that for both teams. The final ball, final bit of touch, the quality hasn't quite been there. Probably why it's still goalless.
So as we head towards the dying embers of the first half, or the last few minutes of the first half, Guiseley and Boston still 0-0. A pretty impressive performance so far from Guiseley. The ball launched forward from Stephen Drench and then knocked out by Sansara. Throw into Guiseley just inside the Boston half. Jack Rea, the right back, comes just a few yards into the Boston half. Looking for options, he's taken an age with this throw. In the end has to go square to Holdsworth. Holdsworth turns well, goes past his man, and then is robbed, but there was an earlier foul on him by Ben Mills. I think the referee was just trying to let things flow. Mills not retrieving the ball. Potts isn't happy about that. Now there's a throw. Holdsworth looks to launch this one in. Plays it short here to Potts actually. On the centre circle. Potts plays it square to Rothery. Rothery forced back to Potts. Gets it back though. Nice 1-2 between the two players. Rothery now plays it towards the goalkeeper. Sorry, and it was cut out. Hopefully haven't lost us. We just had a weird thing happen there on the internet stream, but it still shows that it's listening. Guiseley have just conceded a throw just after a promising move. Now Danny Ellis goes in for a heavy challenge there on Miller, and Ellis is going to go in the book. Miller knocked the ball past him and Ellis went in anyway, but it was late, and I don't think he gave referee Neil Hare too many options there. No, it's a second as well, isn't it?
I don't think he could have too many complaints, to be honest. It's the second time he's done that in the last 10 minutes or so.
Now the free kick is taken by Ross. Ross helps it into the penalty area. Nodded away. Guiseley just can't clear this. Launched away by Bauer up to the halfway line. The last few moments here of this half is all about Boston. And it's Sansara who has a throw-in on the halfway line. It's looking to just get something moving down this left flank. Launches it towards Spencer Weir-Daly. Now it's taken down well by Ross, but cut out by Guiseley up to the halfway line where Hobson's looking for it. Once again, Piergiani wins that battle, and it's back here with the goalkeeper, Timms. Timms, still with lots of players to go for, plays a nice long ball forward towards Newsham, but it's just gone beyond him, out into touch, and the two players wave at each other in acknowledgement of the move and the pass. So we head towards the break.
I think it's like you said earlier on, Mark will be happy with this. I think, to be 0-0, having threatened, obviously there's things to work on. I think it'll be a little bit suspect defensively sometimes, but I think overall he'll be pleased with his side's effort.
The header goes forward, helped back by Bauer, all the way back to the goalkeeper, Stephen Drench, and it's forward now towards Hobson. 1 minute goes up as added time. Ball's back here to Stephen Drench as we head into that last minute. And Guiseley currently a drawing here at Boston, 0-0. No goals. Been a good first half though. Header away from Mark Bauer. Referee plays an advantage. The linesman indicates a free kick against Bauer, but Guiseley still have to defend because the ball's come down this left-hand side with Sansara trying to run onto a ball that's cut out well by Brooksby. Back to the halfway line, and then good work from Gavin Rothery takes the ball away from Ian Ross. They'll have perhaps felt a bit aggrieved that they didn't get the free kick in that build-up move at the end.
Yeah, I think quite rightly too. I think it was probably should have been given, but the ref chose to play advantage, which is fair enough, I suppose.
Headed clear up towards Rothery. Nobody can get on this ball at the moment, or so it seems. Ross now forward here to Weir Daly. Weir Daly tries to launch it into the penalty area. Cut out, goes behind for a corner, but just at that moment the referee decides that that's full time and half time rather.
Yeah,
much to the frustration of home fans.
I don't imagine he's a particularly popular man in Boston at the minute, this referee.
Well, it's been frenetic stuff for us particularly, dashing our way here late and long distance, and we are at the half time, and as it's now for a chance for us to go and get a cup of tea and a cup of coffee. That's just busy having a wee chat with a few individuals. What we'll do during the break today, unfortunately we can't continue the coverage because we don't have our helpers until the second half, so we're going to take 5-10 minutes just to go away, have a cup of tea, maybe some chips, and then we'll be back on air just a couple of minutes before the half. But just before we do that, Matt, any final thoughts on that first?
Yeah, I think, like I say, Mark will be pleased with that. I think definitely showed signs of promise, but obviously you've got the fact that it's still 0-0. The home side will want to come out second half and dominate, but we've got options on the bench to change it, and I think I'd make us favourites to clinch this if we can.
Well, I hope your predictions are right and your betting instincts are correct, Matt. But at the break, we're going to stop, and it's stop, and it's Guiseley who are 0-0 and pretty happy with that first half performance here at York Street. We'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes.
Thank you very much, Paul. It is Boston United.
Well, welcome back here to Guiseley AFC Radio. Second half about to start and get underway here at York Street, where Boston United and the Lions are doing battle in this Skrill Conference North match. We've had a chance to think about the first half. So I'll just help Matt with his microphone. We'll get his views on the first 45, just as the two sides are back out, but doesn't appear to be any additional substitutions from what I can see. And Matt will be looking for perhaps maybe more of the same in the second half than what we had in the first.
Yeah, I think that the building blocks were there. It's just showing that a little bit more adventure in the final third that's going to win it probably for either side. It's a similar half for both teams.
Well, straight away Boston launched the ball forward, but it's gone out for a throw-in. Guiseley lining up today with Stephen Drench in goal. It's a back four with Mark Bauer, the new player manager. Danny Ellis, the two centre halves. Rhys Maynell at left back. Jack Rear at right. And then a midfield that contains Michael Potts, Andy Holdsworth as the two holding midfielders, and then Wayne Brooksby, Gavin Rothery, and Adam Priestley, and then with Craig Hobson leading the line. Now, guys, they've just conceded a free kick here, just in these opening forays of the second half, in a very dangerous position. It's about 25 yards from goal. And a chance now for Boston to put some pressure on the Lions. And they have 3 or 4 players up here. This is a very nervous moment here for Mark Bauer and his new side. And the Lions now just have to defend very stoutly. 3 or 4 players up on the edge of the D. Guiseley holding the line right on the edge of the 18-yard box. The ball's taken short. They tried to carve out something akin to the Argentina goal against England in '98, I think, but it didn't quite work out, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Great reference there. Yes, it didn't quite work, but a good effort for trying, I guess.
Goal kick. Steve Drench will take. Good crowd here, just heard it, 1,022. And this is a fine stadium, a great place to come and play and watch football. And always a great trip. Guiseley now hoping they'll start to enjoy their afternoon once again, as we have done a few times here in previous years. Last season it was 3-1 at this stadium. Guiseley went behind, but came back to win 3-1. Of course, Jason Lee lost his job after that match. And Steve Kittrick and Jason Lee were the 2 men on the bench that day, no longer in charge of their clubs. Boston come forward down this left-hand side. Play a ball forward that has to be cut out well by Danny Ellis. And it's knocked forward into Gavin Rothery, just on the edge of the centre circle. He starts to come forward, makes a bit of a run at the Boston defence. He's claiming a free kick. To be fair, I don't think he had much of a shout. He was just muscled off the ball by Bohr. Guiseley have the possession still now here with Priestley. Priestley square to Rothery. So 25 yards from goal, goes inside, square once again, this time to Brooksby. Brooksby whips past one player, then trips himself up and feels that he should also have had a free kick. Guiseley now have to defend because a long ball forward, searching out Ricky Miller, is headed away by Stephen Drench, who comes out and starts doing a sort of libero role for a moment. And then this one down this left-hand side that Boston attack once again. It's cut out by Mark Bauer.
Yeah, you just wonder how long it'll be before Mark starts to think about changes. I think Brooksby's been disappointing in the sort of last 10 of the first half, and so far in the second, just not what we know he can produce.
Phil Marsh on the bench, Jake Lawler, Zach Dale, James Burgess and Jamil Iblay. Let's hope there's no injuries to goalkeepers today. Guiseley are now having to defend because Boston have a throw on the right-hand side as they attack this goal. And they play the ball into the area, up to the back post, headed on by Weir Daly, and now it's going to be cleared by Brooksby. Well watched by Sansara, he blocks the clearance, and it's gone behind for a throw-in. Good move, good defending there. Interesting lineup on the bench, isn't there, this afternoon?
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of options for most eventualities apart from Drencher going off, but you got Burgess, big target man, Zach, an exciting winger, Marsh, who threatens to get fire in every game. It's but Mark's got a few decisions to make, I think. That is if Mark's making those. It might be Chris if Mark's playing.
There'll certainly be something to ask him about actually after the game, which we will do before I make the gargantuan drive back up to the northeast this evening. Hobson has won the ball on the centre circle. He's played it down the left-hand side. Adam Priestley's going chasing. He's not going to get there. Ball just shadows that ball out. Watching it very well. 0-0 here. 5 minutes into the second half. Guiseley and Boston United just unable to break each other down. The Lions have performed pretty well. Had 2 good chances in that first 45. Adam Priestley and Gavin Rothery forcing the goalkeeper Ashley Timms into a save. Now Boston come forward themselves. They've had chances too in this game. I certainly think they should have scored when Newsham was put through on goal. They play the ball forward up here, looking for Miller. Cut out well here by Danny Ellis. But once again, the Pilgrims move into the final third and look to press on Guiseley. Quick one short here to the captain, Milnes. Gets the ball, Ross gets the ball into the area. Cut out nicely by Rothery though. He helps it out wide here to Priestley. Priestley's got Hobson ahead of him. Comes over the halfway line. Plenty of running space for him to go into. Priestley goes in towards the edge of the area. Good tackle there from Galinski. Denies Priestley from getting any further. And it's out for a throw-in. Guiseley about level with the edge of the 18-yard box. On this left-hand side, a chance to launch this one in here with Rhys Maynell. Just holding up play, but good movement there from Guiseley.
Yeah, it's. I think Priest is always sort of flattered to deceive when he gets into those areas. He needs to sort of really commit the defender and try to get past him.
Well, once again, one disappointment is that before this attacking movement could start, Priestley's found himself in an offside position. Picked up by the referee. And now Guiseley have conceded the free kick. And that's taken by Timms. Playing his football at Hinckley, wasn't he, Ashley Timms?
Yes.
I knew the name.
I think there's a few from the Midlands area with Pierre Gianni at Corby and Galinski at Corby as well. A few of those names.
Guys, he just defended for a moment. Jack Greer on the halfway, hoofing the ball up to the halfway line. It's not working for Hobson, I think, at the moment. He's not able just to win that ball. It's gone back. Drench launches it low up to the halfway line. Picked up once again by Boston. It's this little passage of play where guys are not able to get onto the ball. Played square here to Marshall. Marshall keeps the ball ticking over here with Ross. Ross to the edge of the area, finds Newsham. Good tackling though from Andy Holdsworth. Live to the danger and then very late on Brooksby, but Guiseley still come away with the ball and Rothery's got the advantage and then he goes down, as he's wont to do. Unfortunately, he didn't get anything this time. The referee really hasn't enamoured himself to the Guiseley fans after those two incidents. But Guiseley still have the ball here on the left-hand side. Rothery twisting and turning, trying to get the ball back into the central play. Beaten to it is Brooksby. And in the end, Guiseley just rather tamely knocked the ball out for a goal kick. And the inquest begins on those two decisions from Gavin Rothery.
I don't think there'll be much of an inquest. I think Gavin was chancing his arm, shall we say.
I think so, yeah, absolutely. But he's making a big claim for it there. I think earlier on, actually, there was perhaps a point for Mark Newsham to be picked up for the late tackle on Brooksby. Guiseley win the ball. Andy Holdsworth holds his hands up to tell them to calm down. Maynell plays one down that left flank, looking for Hobson. Hobson can't get on the end of it. The ball returned into the Guiseley half and headed away by Bauer. It's going to be another Boston throw. Frenetic, but not very structured start to the second half. No,
it's been an entertaining game for a 0-0. It's strange to say it, but there's been lots of chances for both sides. Very, we'll attack, you attack, that sort of thing. I just think if there is one goal, there'll probably be maybe two or three. I don't think, I think it will. I don't know. It's tough to say. I think
a goal will change it, won't it? That's that.
So I'm trying to get out.
Yeah. You can't dig out the cliches, can you, this afternoon, man?
No, not like me.
Go on, up your game, otherwise I'll go back onto my leg again, which is still massive, by the way. Stephen Drench in the goal, takes the goal kick. Up towards the halfway line, flicked on, back here to Danny Ellis. Ellis nods it down here to Potts. Potts lays it back here to Bauer, long ball forward, looking for Hobson. Well watched there by Gilinski. He had to be alive to that because Hobson was behind him looking for any slip-up from the central defender. Guiseley have a throw-in. It's a good movement there, direct play. Don't forget, if you want to comment on anything this afternoon, you can do so. We're tweetable via @Guiseley Radio. Boston now come forward here. Ross over the halfway line, helps it out here to Weir Daly. Weir Daly Sansara under pressure from Gavin Rothery, and then it goes all the way back to Drench. And Drench lofts it high and not very far actually, and it comes back before Bauer gets a head onto it and helps it up to the halfway line. Taken down now well by Brooksby. Brooksby racing down to the left-hand corner. He's got 2 or 3 options in the box, tries to go past Gilinski, gets it into the area, but cut out well, and then eventually Guiseley have found that the moment's passed, but it's picked up once again here by Maynell on the halfway line. He's really brilliantly robbed, and now a great counter-attacking movement here for Boston. Boston come to the edge of the area now, ball into the area. Danny Ellis gets a foot onto it, takes it away from Spencer Weir-Daly, who was waiting after Mark Newsham had made a searing run down that right-hand channel. Guiseley survive. Now the ball here with Bohr. Bohr inside the Guiseley half, cuts it central to Ross. And then Ross lays it back coolly, and it's launched forward up towards Milnes. Ben Milnes can't help the ball through, but is bundled over, and Andy Holdsworth holds his hands to the sky. He doesn't think he did anything wrong, but the referee's given a free kick in a very dangerous position.
Yeah, I don't know what Andy Holdsworth thinking about there. An experienced midfielder, no need to foul him there whatsoever, and Boston in a dangerous position now. But going back to that previous chance, it all stemmed back from Rhys Maynell and Michael Potts getting in the way of each other in the centre midfield, and one ball in it, and it's dangerous.
Boston 0, Guiseley 0 here on Guiseley AFC Radio. A chance now though for Boston. It's about 20 yards from goal, about level with the edge of the 6-yard box. It goes square from this. A shot from distance, well watched by Steve Drench. Tips it over the crossbar, always central. Should have dealt with that and did deal with it, but another warning shot for Guiseley.
Yeah, good save. It's difficult for us to see from behind here how much it tested Drench, but he palmed it over well, and he was taking no chances.
Boston have the corner though, which they'll take on this right-hand side. It's Ross who will whip this one in. The captain. The ball up towards the penalty spot. Ellis gets ahead on it, helps it away, only as far as the edge of the 18-yard box. Then a very heavy touch by Connor Marshall, and the ball's behind for a goal kick to Guiseley. It's a very, very important save there from Steve Drench. Like you say, it did move in the air, didn't it? Quite a bit.
Good play from Danny Ellis just to get a touch on that, with Boston defenders lurking.
And it's a long afternoon here for the travelling fans who have some distance to go. And they'll be hoping they'll be going back with 3 points. There's a bit of a challenge goes in on Hobson. I think a high foot, and he's got a free kick as Guiseley. Hobson gets up. I don't think he was milking that, but the home fans suggest he was.
It looked a nasty one. Probably wasn't going to get much sympathy from the Boston fans after his earlier incident, but
collided with the centre-half Scott Garner, who's gone off injured. Andy Holdsworth now with a free kick up to the edge of the 18-yard box. Tried to be nodded down by Hobson, but not sufficiently directed. And Guiseley once again have to defend their lines, because here they come again. Miller this time running at the Guiseley back line, runs past Holdsworth. Holdsworth catches him. Referee goes straight to his pocket to get a yellow card out. And Andy Holdsworth goes in the book. He's the third Guiseley player to pick up a yellow card. Danny Ellis and Craig Hobson, the other two. And again, a free kick in a fairly dangerous area, that, Matt.
Yeah, I believe that's called taking one for the team.
The free kick's taken quickly, goes in towards the area. They were looking to just chip the ball into Newsham and Spencer Weir-Daly, but Potts was alive to the danger. He helps it out down that right flank here where Rothery collects. Nice ball there from Potts. Potts goes for the return, helps it on to Brooksby. Brooksby tries to go on a run, but just overhits that ball and allows Boston to recover possession.
Yeah, it looks like we're about to see Phil Marsh introduced. Not sure who he'll come on for, but he's stripped and ready.
Now Miller coming down this left-hand side, and a heavy tackle here from Mark Bauer. Bauer's going to be the fourth Guiseley player in the book. Clumsy challenge there from the manager. The player manager and Miller, I think they were looking for more than that, the way he's holding his hands up there, but that was not what we wanted to see in that area. Another dangerous free kick now for Boston.
Yeah, it'll be coming all too often now.
Poor tackle there from Bauer. And now Guiseley have to defend their lines here. It's Ian Ross who's going to take the free kick just on the edge, about level with the angle of the 18-yard box on the right-hand side as Boston attack the Guiseley goal. They whip the ball in, up towards the edge of the 6-yard box, a good header. It's in the back of the net from Carl Piagiani. And Guiseley find themselves a goal behind after defending for so long. 59 minutes gone, and it's now Boston United 1, Guiseley 0.
Yeah, it's been coming. We said you can't keep giving free kicks away in these sort of areas, and fair play to Boston. They've deserved it for the start to the second half.
Well, Guiseley now have to work hard. Mark Bauer goes across to the touchline there to have a word with Chris Holland. The substitute that we were expecting, Phil Marsh, hasn't yet arisen, although it looks like it might do. And the second man who seems to be warming up is Jamili Blay. And maybe Mark Bauer will change things by taking himself off. He's on a yellow card, and so's Danny Ellis. But Boston United now have the lead and have the advantage. Now Craig Hobson plays it square here to Gavin Rothery. Rothery out wide now to Adam Priestley. Priestley looks to start a run in towards that Boston goal. Bounces back off the defender. Comes back to Priestley right by the touchline now. Options ahead of him. Tries to run round. And it's gone out for a throw-in. Throw-in taken. Trying to do two jobs at the same time here. Guiseley now have the ball here with Rhys Maynell. Played it forward here towards Hobson. Hobson does well to keep it in, but can't beat the challenge in doing so. Now Guiseley just have to turn the screw. Piagiani with that goal has really set the two sides apart now. Guiseley coming forward with a bit more adventure though since the goal.
Yeah, while it's come from a free kick, I don't think you could argue that Boston haven't deserved it for this second half so far.
Rothery now inside the Boston half, plays it back to Holdsworth, back to Brooksby. Brooksby down by the touchline, tries to go past his man. The running just not working at the moment. Well tackled by Sansara. The ball goes forward, cut out well by Piagiani, and then launched away out into touch. And Guiseley are trailing by a 0-0, but we are going to have double substitution now. And it is going to be Jamili Blay who comes on, and Phil Marsh, and it is Mark Bauer who perhaps rather predictably goes off, especially after the yellow card. So Jamili Blay will take his position in centre half, and it's going to be Craig Hobson who's coming off to be replaced by Phil Marsh. So Hobson and Marsh, whose combination we've been expecting to see this season, is now becoming a substitution, and the home fans are less enamoured with Craig Hobson after that early incident, that earlier challenge in which the centre-half Scott Garner went off injured.
A predictably unfriendly departure for him, but it's an interesting change from Bauer, because Marsh and Hobson aren't the same sort of player, and you wonder how they'll line up now.
Yeah, it is a real difference, isn't it? So we'll see if that makes any change to the formation. Nonetheless, Guiseley have a throw. 63 minutes gone in this game. The Lions trailing by a 0-0. A second half header from Piagiani. Now Jamili Blay having to get the foot in there on Miller. And now a ball forward from Holdsworth. Launched from distance from Ross. I think he was trying to catch Steve Drench off his line. I like to think Drench would have had that covered, but it was a little way off target.
Yeah, it's worth an attempt, but I don't think Drench was ever really troubled.
A wry smile on the goalkeeper's face. He takes the goal kick short here to Danny Ellis. Ellis launches it forward. No one in sight of that ball. And then the ball goes down where Brain Brooksby picks it up on the halfway line. Runs past two players, goes central, looks for options ahead of him. Just to clip in here to Potts and back here to Ellis. Ellis launches it up towards Gavin Rothery, but two yellow and black shirts are there ahead of him, amber and black. And Boston come forward now down this left-hand side where Jamil Eblay intercepts, rather curiously lofting the ball almost out for a corner. I think indeed he has conceded the corner, and it's a rather tame corner to concede. Has he given a corner, or has he given
I think it has gone for a corner, judging by the position of the guys, the defenders here.
I don't think either saw, but it just goes to show it's just a poor clearance, lofted into the air and out over the corner flag, and it's Guiseley have to defend once again. It's a situation not dissimilar actually to where the goal came from, which was a free kick coming in from the angle. This one comes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away, back to the edge of the area where Weir Daly gets a shot but locked. Then back out once again. Ross gets the ball into the area once again, headed away by Andy Holdsworth, and then a ball whipped out to the left flank where Ross is waiting to get it back into the danger zone once again. A man marked it there but coasting. It was Mark Newsham who had all the time in the world to head home from an angle. Guiseley have been cheaply undone, and it's now Boston United 2, Guiseley 0.
It was so easy for Mark Newsham there, just a long ball to the back post and unchallenged. Really disappointing for the second goal for a side who pride themselves on being strong at the back. It's a real blow.
Well, it's not what we were hoping for. It's going to be one of those days at the office, I'm afraid, because Guiseley are now trailing by 2-0, and to be honest, at the moment don't really look like we're getting a foothold in this second half at all, and don't look like we're going to be able to.
No, ever since the break, it's been like you say, we've just not been in the game, and it's a tough one. The substitutions have changed it.
The kick is started. Holdsworth back to Eblay, back to Ellis, and Potts comes onto the halfway line, but Potts is bundled over and then taken off by Weir Daly. Weir Daly takes a bit of a run, won by Rothery, and then away Potts, but guys, you need to get their heads into this. Marsh now goes sniffing out to see if he can get something at the other end, but takes a knock in doing so and goes to ground. And in the meantime, the ball comes a long way forward, and Drench has to be aware of the danger on the edge of the 18-yard box. In the meantime, the injury to Phil Marsh is causing some concern because the physio's on, and we'll have a stop for a moment. What can we do, though, to turn this round? I mean, it's not been a second half where I can think of we've had an opportunity at the other end, and there's been just so much of the play.
No, I think all the positives that we were doing in the first half have just evaporated. We've just not got going from the break, and a certain amount of credit has to go to Boston for that. You have to say. I wouldn't be surprised to see James Burgess come on, or maybe Zach Dale, just to try and salvage something. But at the minute, it looks a little bit of a rudderless ship out there at the minute with Bauer off. You wonder who's sort of driving this.
Well, Mark Bauer's just having a word with Gavin Rothery on the side. Phil Marsh doesn't look comfortable, does he, with his injury? He just seemed to take a knock when he went in for a challenge. There was no malice in the challenge, but he just clipped his foot, and he went straight down and is back on his feet. And it looks like another substitution. It looks like this time James Burgess is going to be introduced. But
it'll be interesting to see if Burgess does come on, because with Marsh limping, it's you don't want to risk to go down to 10.
Yeah, that's a very good point, isn't it? And it's a real potential risk. But guys, you have to try and change this round. They're trailing by 2-0. We are very much on the back foot in the second half. Danny Ellis now with the ball on the halfway line, plays it up towards Phil Marsh. He loses out, plays forward. Eblay tries to get it away from Newsham, has to help it all the way back. Steve Drench under pressure, lays it out wide coolly to Eblay, and Eblay tries to play through his man. And fortunately for Eblay, when he bounced the ball off Mark Newsham poorly, tried to play through him, it bounced through to Ricky Miller, who happened to be in an offside position. And that
fortunate.
Fortune than design, really, there.
I think Jamil looks a little bit rabbit in the headlights at the minute. He needs to just calm himself down, because this is crucial.
Now, Marsh gets the ball into the area. Brooksby goes to ground, though, when he could have held on to it, but it's been knocked behind for a corner, and this is a chance, perhaps for Guiseley to turn the tide in the second half. We're going to have a change here, and it's going to be Adam Priestley, by the looks of it, who's come towards the bench. And it's Adam Priestley who goes off, and it'll be James Burgess who goes on. Priestley's had a good game for my money, but perhaps hasn't been involved in the last 15 minutes or so as much as he'd have wanted to be. So with the last 20 minutes or so to go, Guiseley have used all 3 substitutes, and James Burgess will come on just in time for this corner. Perhaps a bit of his aerial prowess would come in handy from a corner.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see him earlier, to be honest, because I think everything that Craig Hobson probably should have done today, Burgess could do that.
The referee just wants to take the corner short. Again, which is frustrating because Potts had worked out a load of space, and he's not going to get another chance at that. This time, Brooksby plays the ball in towards Eblay. Eblay doesn't get a firm header on it. He knocks it behind for a goal kick.
No, probably should be looking to get that on target. It was unopposed in the area, and just didn't get quite enough on it, enough of a connection. It glanced it wide.
So Guiseley, once again, will have to go in search of overhauling a 2-goal deficit, just like we did last Saturday against Brackley. The 2 goals in the second half, Carl Piergiani and Ian Ross. Mark Newsham. And the strikes separate the 2 sides. Guiseley had a decent first half, but the second really hasn't been up to the mark. Now Boston are coming forward once again, and this time another free kick is conceded, and it's Potts who brings down Weir Daly, and a free kick to Boston once again, dangerous position.
Yes, it's almost as if we've not learnt from the first goal. Really, it's a needless foul to give away.
Ball into the area, onto the edge of the area where Gianni gets it down, and another opportunity there for Mark Newsham. He was free in the area. Andy Holdsworth, Eblay and Rhea are having an absolute inquest, but Mark Newsham blasted the ball over the bar, and that was a real chance there, a real let-off for Guiseley.
Yeah, it's a worry just how little sort of communication there seems to be within that back 4, because you've got Andy Holdsworth, Danny Ellis and Jamil Eblay just discussing it then, who's marking him, because he should have scored. That should be 3-0.
Guiseley living by their nerves at the moment, I'm afraid. Long one forward here. Burgess is going chasing it with the goalkeeper. Timms does well, takes it down comfortably. Not been a good day at the office here all ways round. And really, as we head into the final 20, Guiseley really have to do something rather dramatic to change their fortunes in this one. 2-0 down, ball out wide here, gets into the area, well held by Steve Jenks, and Sarah with a good firm cross into the area, but just inside the 6-yard box. Well held now. Potts now gets the ball in the halfway line, looks for Holdsworth, but can't find him, and immediately the ball's back. Eblay under pressure by Miller. Miller wins the ball this time, turns Eblay, goes backwards though, and has a chance to get the ball across to somebody in space, and it's Ross this time who's on the edge of the area. He plays it across to Sansara, gets the ball into the edge of the 6-yard box, and it bounces off Weir Daly and behind for a goal kick. Once again, Guiseley were cut apart.
Yeah, so easy. It could and probably should be 3 or 4 by now. And I think the worrying thing, fair enough, Boston are a good side, they've got a good home record, but there doesn't seem to be any spirit out there at the minute in the middle of the park. Andy Holds was quiet as far as I can tell, and I think that would be the worrying aspect, that when Bauer's not in there, it's very unorganised.
Well, guys, they have the ball in the centre circle at the moment with Potts. Plays it down to Mainel. Mainel just sort of hoiks it forward, headed away, flicked on now by Newsham, and then finds Miller. Miller with Eblay on him. Eblay takes the ball away from him this time. A square here to Holdsworth. Holdsworth, long ball forward, looks for Burgess. Burgess can't get ahead of Piergiani, and the ball's back with the goalkeeper. Can we go home now? 2-0 down.
Yes, it's going to take something very special to claw anything back, but I suppose the saving grace is that you've not got many days now till Park Avenue on Tuesday, but a good chance to turn it around.
Not really the chance that Matt Bowers had yet to put his mark on the side, of course. Very early days in his management career, but he won't be happy that the second half has turned the way it has. The first half solid, Guiseley had chances, but this second, at the moment, Guiseley second to everything, and Boston deservedly lead 2-0 here at York Street. Jack Rhea with the throw-in. Inside the Guiseley half on the halfway line. Right back looking for options ahead of him. Up towards Burgess. He can't get that ball, and it comes back now towards Weir Daly, but it's helped away from him by Ellis, and then up to the halfway line. And Phil Marsh gets on the ball, but Gavin Rothery's adjudged to have committed an early foul. So once again, any glimmers of hope are quickly sniffed out. And Boston have the ball on the halfway line. And Guiseley now have to defend again as it comes forward here. Taken well by Miller. Miller square, cut out brilliantly by Holdsworth. Holdsworth square now to Brooksby. What's Brooksby going to do with it? He has a run, loses it. Picked up and tidied up by Potts. Out wide here to Rhea. Rhea under pressure immediately from Sinsara. Plays it up towards Brooksby. Then Rhea, who was getting loads of space in the second half last week and earlier on in this game, plays the ball forward, finds Rothery. Rothery down this right-hand channel. Rothery under real pressure here from Marshall, but gets the ball in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Lays it square here to Potts. Potts with a chance to have a shoot, but has players around him. Does well to hold the ball and then lays it back here to Rothery. Rothery out now to Jack Rhea. Rhea gets the ball into the area, headed away and up only as far as Holdsworth. But in the end, there's a free kick given. This time, I don't know who went in for the challenge, to be honest there, Matt.
I think it was Burgess.
Was it Burgess who's got the yellow
looks to have
card?
caught him, yeah.
It was either Burgess or it was Potts. We think it might have been. We think it might have been. Phil Marsh maybe. we can't even tell who got the yellow card because we glanced away. Yeah, we think it's Burgess. Anyway, either way, there's another yellow card in a Guiseley shirt. Expensive afternoon for the Lions in many more ways than one.
Yes.
And a free kick is the end result. It's taken long into the Guiseley half. Maynell holds his position and it bounces over him and into touch. Back here with Maynell. Guiseley trailing 2-0. Don't forget, if you do have any comments, it'd be great to hear them. We're on at Guiseley Radio. Hopefully I'll be picking them up via the Twitter feed, if I can get it working. And we'll be picking the ball up here on the halfway line with Andy Holdsworth. Ball square here to Jack Rhea. Rhea with a little bit of space, plays it forward towards Phil Marsh. Marsh dummies it, plays it into Burgess. Burgess is pulled over. Guiseley have a free kick. Dangerous place, dangerous part of the park. And now a chance here for Guiseley to get back in this game, perhaps. Yeah,
good bit of play, probably the best we've maybe seen from Phil Marsh since he's come on. A good little dummy, and Burgess just rolled his man. A good opportunity.
Who do you fancy to take this free kick? It's quite close on the edge of the D, isn't it?
I'd suggest probably Brooksby's after it, and I don't know, maybe. I think that's the thing, without Burns in the team, there's a lack of sort of specialist set piece takers. I think Reece Maynell might fancy it, but it looks to be Brooksby or Holdsworth.
Free kick to be taken. Holdsworth and Brooksby both stand over it. Holdsworth shapes to take it, drives it in. Good save from Timms. A really firm drive and a firm strike from Holdsworth. Well saved by Timms. Kept in here by Burgess. Helps it back in towards the edge of the area where Potts flicks it on, and then that's cleared. And the danger has passed. And Guiseley now get the ball forward once again. Up here to Rothery. Rothery out wide here to Maynell. Maynell tries to get the ball across his man, but it's cut out well by Ben Milnes. And that was a great chance there for Guiseley, wasn't it, Matt?
Yeah, and good play. You just feel like it could be a little bit too late if anything does come of it.
Now Holdsworth has the ball on the right-hand side, lays it into Maynell. Maynell up towards the edge of the penalty spot, headed away. Down here with Maynell once again. Maynell tries to whip it in, gets a deflection off the man, but it's prevented from going for the corner by good work from Ashley Timms. Guiseley still trail by those 2 second-half goals. Pierre Gianni and Mike Newsham, the goal scorers. A scoreline that doesn't really flatter Boston. It's a fair result as it stands. The Lions really haven't done in the second half what they did in the first half, and we're going to have a substitute this time for Boston, and it's the captain Ian Ross, who's had a very good game for my money. He's going to be replaced. And it would appear to be a double substitution because Spencer Weir-Daly likewise is making way. And that'll be the last substitutions of the game. And as the two go off, oh, maybe not, maybe I've misread that. He's just gone off to the edge, actually. It's a single substitution, so it's not having a great day myself, actually, here in the commentary. Ben Fairclough, who comes on. Weir-Daly stays on. It's Ian Ross who comes off. And I'll try and hold it together for the next 11 minutes if we can. The throw-in by Maynell. A one here by Brooksby inside his own half. He loses possession. Picked up by Weir-Daly. Laid back here to Sansara. Sansara helps it on down this left channel where Newsham's looking for it. Jack Rea just steps across him, makes sure the ball goes out into touch. And Guiseley take the throw nice and quickly. Andy Holdsworth looking to orchestrate something from midfield. Plays the ball left here to Maynell. And Maynell just goes back. And Ebley and Ellis have the ball at their feet inside their own half. It just doesn't look like you can see a way through this Boston 11 at the moment. Ellis square now to Potts, still in his own half, just looking to tease out a pass forward. Goes towards Phil Marsh. His touch is poor and it's gone back to Boston. And immediately they look to set something going down the left-hand side. Danny Ellis then just gifts the ball to Weir-Daly. It's helped in towards the edge of the area. Fortunately, the return from Weir-Daly was dreadful as Danny Ellis's first touch, but Ellis inexplicably handing the ball possession to Boston. Now Guisey, 6s and 7s just at the moment here. Do well to win the ball back here. Now a chance to go forward with Brooksby. Brooksby helps it out wide here to Burgess. Burgess tries to go past his man. He can't. And then he lays it back, and then before eventually a very late challenge here on Burgess. And Guisey will get the free kick, and I think there'll be a yellow card there for Nathan Sansara. And we head into the final 8 minutes or so. Guisey have a free kick. It's about 10 yards in from the touchline on the right-hand side. A good distance from goal. Taken short into Brooksby. Brooksby tries to feed it into the penalty area. Can't find his man. It's gone out again. This time it's a throw-in to Boston. And Guiseley not getting the rub of anything at the moment.
No, it's. I think it's too easy to. It's easy to read a lot into it, and I think it's not. We lost first game with Bauer in charge, but I think the first half of the last game tells you that it might not have been an awful lot different under Steve, but Mark needs time to bed his ideas in and work out what his best team is. But I think what I've been most worrying is just the lack of organisation at the back, especially after he'd gone off himself. I think that's something he'll probably want to rectify in training.
Boston have the ball, clear it up the halfway line, and then Jack Rea steps across. He's played well, Jack Rea, right back. Ball square now here to Brooksby. Brooksby plays it centrally, looking for Burgess. Burgess is pulled down. Another card will come out this time, and that's a second yellow in as many as 2 minutes, I think. And it's this time it's Ben Milnes who pulls back Burgess. Who pulls back Burgess just on the edge of the D. And Guisey now have a free kick central in a dangerous position, Matt.
Yeah, it's almost like that 5 or 10 minute spell when Boston scored, just giving a lot of free kicks away outside that area, but somehow I can't see us scoring two from our chances.
Well, Guisey have the free kick this time. Wayne Brooksby lines up to take it. It takes a deflection off the wall, but well held by Timms. He shaped up well. Didn't quite get it over the wall. It took a deflection. That could have worked in his favour, but in the end it was comfortable for Ashley Timms to hold on to. And immediately the counter-attack comes forward and headed away by Ebley. Taken down now by Marsh. On the halfway line here's Potts. Potts square to Rothery. Rothery and Marsh combine, but still not making any headway. Still just inside that Boston half. Potts now central, tries to beat a man, goes square to Rothery. Rothery runs at the defence, lays it out wide here to Jack Rea. Rea hugging the touchline, square to Brooksby. Brooksby in towards the edge of the area where Rothery can't control it because it comes at him far too hard, and it bounces in towards Ebley. Ebley heads it forward, but now's a counter-attack chance for Boston before a needless free kick is conceded. And Rothery, I don't know what he was doing there, but he tried to play the ball off the player, Spencer Weir-Daly, was standing over trying to prevent him take the free kick, and in the end the referee just said get on with it. And those cheers are for Andy Holdsworth, who's just launched the ball into the stand. And at the moment things just aren't very shapely on the pitch at the moment.
No, it's a bit embarrassing there from Gavin. It's I don't know, he almost seems to get involved in these sorts of scraps with individuals. He needs to sort of concentrate on getting us back into the game, because Gav, I think, has probably had a decent game today, and it's probably a little bit unfortunate that things aren't quite clicking in front of him.
Could have been different in that first half if we'd managed to convert one of those 2 chances that we had, but that's all ifs and buts. Second half, Boston deservedly on top. 2-0 here to Boston United. The Lions not performing in this second half as they did in the first, but they still have had a couple of half chances. But Boston meanwhile come down this left hand side. It's cut out nicely here by Gavin Rothery and Ebley, and now Guiseley can launch their own counter-attack. Wayne Brooksby in the middle of the park starts to run at the defence, comes over the halfway line, square to Rothery. Rothery moves forward, tries to feed it back to Brooksby, does it the second attempt. Brooksby doesn't take the ball well, and Boston intercept and come forward. Really nice move here. Weir-Daly comes through on goal. He's got options to his right, plays in Miller over the penalty area, takes a shot with the right foot, and he's shanked it wide, and Guiseley have another let-off.
Yeah, good play from the Boston front two, Newsham and Weir-Daly. Probably should have done a bit better Miller on the right hand side.
It's a goal kick to Guiseley. Stephen Drench will take this one, launches it up to the halfway line, and it's headed away, taken down now by Brooksby. Brooksby looks left to Rothery square again to Maynell, just too far ahead of him, and it's out into touch. Full-time referee?
Yes, please.
Guiseley trailing 2-0. 4 minutes to go, give or take, plus whatever stoppages. It's going to be another disappointing away day defeat. In fact, I think it's our first away defeat, won't it, this time? The 2 defeats we've had so far have been at home.
Yes.
So a new experience for the season. Long ball forward here, looking for Miller, but he's beaten to it by Ebley. Boston have the throw-in inside the Guiseley half on the right-hand side as they attack the goal. And we have the attendance announced here, which is 1,022. Guiseley have conceded another free kick, this time Andy Holdsworth, just a little nudge. And he's looks disparagingly towards the referee, but it's in a dangerous area once again, about 10 yards from the edge of the angle of the 18-yard box. Played in towards the substitute, Fairclough, and then taken away by Maynell. Long ball forward, looking to counter-attack immediately. Taken down and cleared by Piagiani, the goal scorer. And it's a good flick on to get Miller free down the right-hand side here. Ebley's hassling him, but Miller turns Ebley onto the edge of the area, goes across Holdsworth. He's got options, plays it out wide here to Weir-Daly. Weir-Daly on the edge of the area, tries to nutmeg Ria, can't do so. Danny Ellis and Ria, cool and collected, defend well there, and now get the ball forward up towards Rothery. Rothery helps it on to Potts. Potts has got Ria on a great overlapping run from right back. Plays it forward now to Burgess. Burgess down this right channel now. Has to turn and hold his run. Plays it back here to Potts. Potts, a good sort of 25 yards from goal. Plays it square here to Andy Holdsworth. Holdsworth and Rothery holding onto the ball here. Nice football, but no incisiveness just at the moment. Up towards Marsh now on the edge of the area. Back to goal. Plays it back here to Brooksby. Brooksby out wide here to Rothery. Rothery down the left channel this time, towards the edge of the area. A man to beat. Can't get past him. Great defending there from Fairclough, and eventually Guiseley don't even win the throw because the clearance is blasted off Rothery and out into touch.
It just about sums it up, doesn't it? It's very it's a dangerous combination of not being particularly lethal when you're on top and then being very, very cagey when you're defending. It's Mark will know he's got work to do now.
Well, he's had a real introduction into Guiseley management this week, I'm sure. Players to come into the squad, and there'll be plenty of opportunities, I'm sure, for Paul Ennis and Matt Clark. And meanwhile here, Guiseley still keep the ball inside the Boston half. Played forward there by Rhea. Michael Burns, of course, also announced that he was coming back. And now Guiseley have the ball down the right-hand side with Phil Marsh. Marsh can lay it back here to Rothery. Rothery, players inside the area, if he can get the ball into them. Can't, and it's easily cleared this time. And Boston can counter-attack once again. Eblay just gets across of Miller, but Miller wins the battle. Bundles Eblay off the ball, runs at Danny Ellis, goes past Ellis, Miller through on goal, only Drench to beat, saved by Drench, but the rebound is tucked away by Mark Newsham. Game, set and match to Boston. Mark Newsham with his second of the match on the 90th minute, and it's Boston United 3, Guiseley 0.
Yeah, it's just about summed up Jamil Eblay's afternoon. He's not had a great time of it since he's come on, and he's not dealt with the long ball. Danny Ellis hasn't quite made the tackle, and yeah, that just about puts the tin hat on it.
3 minutes of additional time. Do we have to? Guiseley have conceded 3 in the second half, which has seen them completely torn apart by Boston, and leaves Mark Bauer with an awful lot of work to do. Ball back here with Jack Correa into Danny Ellis. Ellis helps it into the opposition half where Phil Marsh is looking for it. Hiked away this time into the second half. Eblay has to watch this one as Miller's all over him at the moment. Eblay gets the header away, but Miller picks the ball up again, plays the ball square, almost in there to Weir Daly. Danny Ellis, fortunately, in the right place at the right time, but then gives the ball away inexplicably. Guiseley now have their back foot again with Miller. Ellis comes across and takes it away from him. This time helps it up towards Brooksby. Good ball, taken down well by Brooksby. And then a good tackle there from Marshall. Guiseley just conceding so much possession to the visitors, the home side. Ball square. Brooksby doesn't look interested. Looks like he's injured now for a moment. He stopped, didn't even go for that ball. Andy Holdsworth not happy with him. He's having a good shout at Brooksby, but Brooksby's not interested in collecting this ball at all at the moment. Holdsworth has it. Potts square to Maynell. Maynell, long ball forward up towards Burgess. Can we get something just to give us a bit of a consolation? Marsh, square now to Potts. Potts, some distance from goal, has got very little options ahead of him. Plays it out wide, good ball here to Jack Rhea. Rhea's now got 4 bodies to aim for. His cross is cut out, and it's headed away, and Sansara will clear up to the halfway line. Danny Ellis has to watch this ball as Miller tries to go past him. Ellis shows Eblay how it's done, takes the ball away from Miller. And good battling here from Brooksby now. And this time the long ball forward finds Miller down this left channel again with Ellis to beat. Miller goes past him, goes into the penalty area. Holdsworth back now to try and hold up the run. Holdsworth just does enough to keep it back, and then the shot from Milnes from distance, high and wide, and out behind the goal for a goal kick.
Yeah, there's a few people in this team who need to ask questions themselves, because they're on good wages, and even if you're 3-0 down, you need to be working hard. I mean, Danny Ellis had just tried to see the ball out. There's no way that was going out. It's all very well sort of feeling sorry for yourself after Steve's gone, but I think you need to sort of take a little bit of a responsibility yourself.
We'll need a response on Tuesday, that's for sure, won't we, to this performance. Second half in particular. Now Guiseley come forward here with Marsh. Marsh comes forward onto the edge of the 18-yard box, lays it out wide here to Brooksby. Brooksby starts to run at this back line, goes down to the touchline, gets the ball across the face of the goal. Nobody there. Referee's seen enough. I'll tell you what, we've seen enough. It's been a disappointing afternoon. A first half that showed promise. The Lions had the chances in the opening 45, so did Boston, but a second half where it all fell apart. 2 goals from Mark Newsham, 1 from Carl Piergiani, and Guiseley have been well beaten this afternoon by an impressive Boston United side. It's finished here, Boston United 3, Guiseley 0.
Yeah, I think Mark knows full well what he's got to do now, and it's, by all means, it's if you lose at Boston, it's no great shame, but it's the manner in which we've lost it today. I think it's a lack of heart and a lack of work rate sometimes in the second half. But like I say, Tuesday, Bradford Park Avenue, local derby at home. I think that's when we'll see what this side's made of.
Well, we'll be back for that, of course, and we're sorry we couldn't have brought you any better news here from York Street, but it's the end of the day. Boston United, well, they've well deserved their victory. 3 goals in the second half. We'll hopefully catch up with Mark Bauer later on and get his post-match reaction, which you'll be able to find on Audio Boo. But stick with us. We'll be back on Tuesday. Get yourself down to the ground and hopefully we'll see Guiseley bounce back and get 3 points. But that's it for us. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage as much as it could be enjoyable. And we'll see you on Tuesday.